Council President, 6:30.
There you go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The combined agenda and regular meeting of the Monroe Township Council is called to order on this date of November 2nd, 2022. Would we all please rise to honor our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Charles DePiero.
Here.
Councilwoman Elizabeth Schneider.
Here.
Councilwoman Rupa P. Siegel.
Here.
Council Vice President Terrence Van Zura.
Here.
Council President Miriam Cohen.
Present. Would you please read the Sunshine Law into the record?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice has been provided by the following. 1. Posted on the bulletin boards within the municipal building on December 29th, 2021, and remains posted at that location for public inspection. 2. Printed in the Home News Tribune and noticed to the Cranberry Press on December 30th, 2021. 3. Posted on the Monroe Township website. And 4. Sent to those individuals who have requested personal notice. In accordance with Chapter 3, Section 17 of the Monroe Township Code, public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes unless further time is granted by the council president.
Thank you very much. The next item in our agenda, Mr. Mayor, please, is there a proclamation and a presentation of National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, which is November. And the proclamation is being presented by our mayor to Gina DePiero, the executive assistant at Monroe Village.
Thank you, Madam Council President. I'd like to call up Gina DePiero from the Monroe Village. Gina, here's our proclamation for tonight. Whereas Alzheimer's disease and other dementias are an irreversible and progressive brain disorder that slowly weakens memory, thinking, and skills, and whereas there are currently 190,000 New Jerseyans aged 65 and older with Alzheimer's disease and an estimate of 2,700 deaths due to Alzheimer's disease annually. And whereas Alzheimer's disease has no current cure. It's sobering, isn't it? Research continues today. There is a worldwide effort to find better ways to treat the disease, delay its onset, and prevent it from developing. And whereas by learning more about dementia, we can all do things to lessen the impact of Alzheimer's disease and other dementias. And whereas raising awareness and sharing stories, those diagnosed with the disease and their caregivers feel heard and respected. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Stephen Delina, Mayor of the Township of Monroe, do hereby proclaim the month of November 2022 as National Alzheimer's Awareness Month in the Township of Monroe, and I ask all Monroe residents to support those affected by Alzheimer's.
Thank you very much.
And, picture first. Gina, before I just hand over the dais to you, I know we did get to meet and discuss this a few months ago, and all that you do, and we talk about sharing stories. Obviously, I share the story about my father and how difficult it is, and it's something that you're not prepared for. So I commend you for taking the lead with this, and let us continue to share stories that perhaps one day, if we can't comfort those currently, to some extent, that at least down the road we'll be able to help. So I do want to thank you kindly for being here, and it's my honor to present you with this proclamation. Thank you.
I'm much shorter than the mayor. Mayor Delina, I thank you so much for this. I hope that other mayors across New Jersey follow your lead in shedding light on this god-awful disease, Alzheimer's and other dementia diseases. It is the third leading cause of death. Every 66 seconds, someone is diagnosed with the disease, and there is no cure currently in sight. There are medications, there is hope that are coming down the pipeline, but we have nothing as of yet. And I thank you for acknowledgments like this education, and support help those with the disease as well as their caregivers have some type of engaged and enriched life. So I thank you, Mayor Delina, as both the Federal 12th District Ambassador for the Alzheimer's Association, as well as the Dementia Specialist for Monroe Village. Thank you so much for your support, and I continue to work with you.
Thank you.
I'm sure I speak for all the members of the council when we say you have a difficult job, and we know you do it very well. And you will always have the support of this community for the work that you do.
Thank you.
We have the ordinance of second reading, please, Patty. We shouldn't trust.
Ordinance O-10, 2022-021, ordinance amending Chapter 39 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Fees. Ordinance O-10, 2022-022, ordinance amending Chapter 108 of the Code of the Township of Monroe to add Article 17 entitled Electric Vehicle Supply Service Equipment to align with state requirements for electric vehicle supply service equipment and make-ready parking spaces.
Ordinances for introduction, item 7.
O-11, 2022-023, ordinance authorizing the acceptance from 94 Union Valley Road LLC of a conservation easement concerning property at Lot 7, Block 18, and a road widening deed concerning portions of properties of lots 7.01 and 7.02 on Block 18. O-11, 2022-024, ordinance authorizing the lease of property at Block 41, Lot 14.02 in the township to facilitate the provision of affordable rental housing and the execution of an option to lease.
Thank you. Item 8 is the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda at the November 2nd meeting, regular meeting, and that's R11 2022-260 through R11 2022-279. I would request that all members of the council please look at the, yes, are you ready, sir? And if you have any resolutions you wish removed from the consent agenda, please let me know now.
I have 7.
Only 7. Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
R 11, 2022, 260. R 11, 2022, 261. R 11, 2022, 262. R 11, 2022, 264. R 11, 2022, 268. R 11, 2022, 275. R 11, 2022, 279. Thank you.
Thank you. Any of the other council members have anything that they need removed from the consent agenda? We will move to the public comment section, which is limited to agenda items only, please. May I have a motion to open the public comment section?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Anyone wishing to address the council on agenda items only, please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Council
Good
President.
evening.
George Gunkelman, 5 Pelly Court, Monroe. I have 3 items that I have, would like a little clarification on. The first one is on page 2, 1122-024. It's about the lease of property for housing, apparently. I'd like to understand
That's our veterans housing
What?
project, 100% affordable veterans housing.
yeah, my question is about the lease, why a lease?
course,
Who-
we're gonna
who's
maintain
leasing
on-
what from whom?
So the township is leasing the land to the developer who's building the project.
why wouldn't we own it?
Why wouldn't we own the project?
Why wouldn't they sell the land to us if it's going
No,
to
no,
be
we-
housing?
Alan, maybe
It's
you
not
can.
typical to lease for housing.
Alan
It's
will
not
fill
a
you in
commercial
on the rest.
activity.
So
Mr. Weinberg?
this is land that we own, that we received as part of a previous project, and it's part of our settlement agreement to build veterans housing on Cranberry Half Acre Road. And part of this ordinance here is to ensure that we demonstrate that the selected developer, which is Conifer Realty, has site control because they're applying to the Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency for funding that will allow us to be able to have up to, it'll be 80 veterans inside the facility. So in order to qualify, and it's a significant amount of money from the Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency, they have to demonstrate site control. We own the land, they'll be building the project, and this is a standard process for anyone who's building affordable housing and trying to get tax credits and other resources from the Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency.
So we're leasing the land from ourselves.
No, we're leasing the land to the developer of the affordable housing. So there's a
Who will own the housing?
the developer, and we'll own the underlying land.
And how long is the lease for?
I believe it's,
So I think it's in this proposal here, and it's obviously an option to lease. Ultimately, the project would be for 99 years.
Correct.
But I believe the leases would be in 5-year increments as it moves forward.
and gives us, we maintain control in that way so that it's always operated as an affordable veterans project.
Okay, the second item I had a question about is under the consent agenda, item 265, the purchase of a anti-ice system with a leg. Just one leg? And what does that mean?
Yes.
It's a
system
pirate.
with a leg.
It's a pirate.
It's a pirate.
Oh.
Pirate? Yeah.
Mr. Gunkelman, I asked the same question, so I do have an answer for you because I thought leg sounded weird too. So right now, really, I'll go as quick as I can. We have a 500-gallon brine tank. This allows us to buy for one of our newer trucks, one of our newer tandems, I believe, a 1,600-gallon tank, and that's what they call the leg. We're able to mount this onto the truck before the storm and brine throughout the town, and then switch it out for a salter before the storm starts. So it goes with one of our newer trucks. It allows us to brine more of the town, but it doesn't eliminate a salter. It allows us to switch it back on.
But the leg means the tank?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Don't
So maybe I don't know the answer to that question, but that's what it is.
All right.
Sorry.
I guess this is, my next question is on page 3 of the consent agenda, item 272, release of the rehabilitated affordable housing agreement. What has been rehabilitated, and what does the release of a rehabilitated agreement mean?
Mr. Weinberg, you want to explain?
It's not
Yep.
clear.
So if I can, Council President, as part of our affordable housing settlement, I believe we agreed to rehabilitate 104 existing homes, which is the maximum we were allowed to do as part of the settlement. It takes existing homes. We are able to put a certain amount of money out for people who are income qualified to bring their home up to certain codes and standards. It's nothing fancy about it, bringing it up to codes and standards. Previously, that grant would be waived if you stayed 6 years. Now it's 10 years. In this case, the person left before 10 years, so they actually returned 50% of the money to us. In order to qualify for the grant, per the guidelines and the court settlement, they have to stay 10 years. So once they make it 10 years, we release it, which we do on time to time on here. If they come out early, there's a formula for that.
And the rehabilitated part?
Means that the housing
We
was
rehabilitated the
worth-
house.
Sorry, they never learned. Yeah, we rehabilitated.
We brought it up to
to
code.
To code.
Up to code,
Okay.
and that's the term. I know it, yes. Sometimes
Thank you.
boggles the mind. You're welcome. Anyone else wish to address the council on the agenda items only? Hearing and seeing none, I'd like to ask for a motion to close the public comment section.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. May I have a motion to adjourn the agenda meeting?
Motion.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
What time is it now? And may we have...
6:45.
Thank you, and may we
Thank
have a
you.
roll call vote?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Agenda
Yes.
meeting is,
Say yes.
yes. Yes. Regular meeting of our council is called to order. A motion, please, to do so. No one's paying attention tonight. Motion.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a
Second.
second on that?
Second.
Thanks. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the payment of claims for the run date of October 26, 2022?
So moved.
Thank you. Second, please.
Second.
Thanks. A roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Abstain?
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Abstain. May I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 4th, 2020, executive session?
Motion?
Thank you.
Second.
Well, thank you. Again, roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Abstain.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. May I have a motion to, the following meetings, also April 5th, 2021, executive session, a motion?
Motion?
Thanks. A second. Second. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Abstain.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes, the final meeting of that list is October 3rd, 2022, agenda and regular combined meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
Very quickly, the November 4th,
Yeah, I was just gonna-
2020, I apologize, I didn't realize the date on that.
I was just gonna-
I was not on the
No.
council at that
Right.
time, so I would be an abstention
Your
on that.
abstention on that vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have our ordinance for second reading.
You want me to read it again?
Yes, please.
O-10-2022-021, ordinance amending Chapter 39 of the Code of the Township of Monroe entitled Fees.
May I have a motion to open a public hearing?
So moved.
Thank you so much. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Anyone wishing to address the council on ordinance 010-2022-021, please come forward now. State your name and address for the record. Okey-dokey. Seeing and hearing none, I will ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion?
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Thank you again. Motion to adopt, please.
So moved.
All in favor and aye, sorry. All in favor.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. That's
Okay, now motion.
All right, now the motion. Sorry, folks.
So moved.
Too quickly. Good. May I have a second on that?
Second.
please? Thank you. Now we'll need a roll call on that adoption.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zura.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Would you read the next ordinance, please?
Sure. O-10-2022-022, ordinance amending Chapter 108 of the Code of the Township of Monroe to add Article 17 entitled Electric Vehicle Supply Service Equipment to align with state requirements for electric vehicle supply service equipment and make-ready parking spaces.
I like that terminology. May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Thank you for that. A second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Or any opposed? No.
Anybody?
Anyone would like to address the council regarding that, please come forward now. And again, state your name and address for the record. Hearing and seeing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Oh,
Second.
Everyone's paying attention again now. Good. Second on that, please.
Council Vice President Van Zura,
Said second.
seconded.
Thank you
Yep.
so much. May I have all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 010-2022-022? Motion, please.
So moved.
Motion?
Moved. And a second, yes? Yes.
Mhm.
May I have a roll call on that?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes, motion is adopted. Ordinances for introduction, please.
Ordinance O-11-2022-023, ordinance authorizing the acceptance from 94 Union Valley Road, LLC, of a conservation easement concerning property at Lot 7, Block 18, and a road widening deed concerning portions of property at Lots 7.01 and 7.02 in Block 18.
May we have a motion to introduce this ordinance, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Ordinance O-11-2022-024, ordinance authorizing the lease of property at Block 41, Lot 14.02 in the township to facilitate the provision of affordable rental housing and the execution of an option to lease.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. When we have a roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Folks, we move to the resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda
With-
with the provisos. Would you please?
With the exceptions of R-11-2022-260, 261, 262, 264, 268, 275, and 279.
That is correct as you gave it to us?
That's correct. Thank you.
Motion? Yes.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second on that.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Next item is resolutions removed from the consent agenda.
Those are, once again, Resolution R-11-2022, 260, 261, 262, 264, 268, 275, and 279.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second on that motion.
Second.
Thank you again. A roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Schneider.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Thank you all. We will have our administrators report.
Thank you, Council President. So just a quick update on the best practice inventory. We'll have an update on that next month. I did want to make a brief comment about the 1,600-gallon brine tank that I mentioned earlier. That actually will help us before storms, so very excited about that. Also, a special thank you to DPW. This is a busy time for our leaf pickup, so a special thank you to them. I want to recognize the Senior Center. In October, they had 4,900 program participants and over 1,000 medical and senior and disabled trips, which is really terrific. And finally, just briefly, as the weather begins to turn cold later this month, just want to thank our many employees who have to work outside in the winter, which is not always an easy task. So as we move towards the winter, and that's my report, Council President.
May it indeed be a mild winter. That would be neat. Thank you very much. Mr. Razumowitz, to my right over there.
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple of items. Thank you to Council awarded tonight the repairs to the pavement on Machaponic, Spotswood Gravel Hill, and Pergola Avenue. That work is scheduled to get started next week, and it's only a two-day project, so it should be wrapped up quickly. And the last item I got is Veterans Park, the restroom bid. The project is out to bid. We opened bids on the 18th of November, and if all goes well with the bidding, I'll be recommending award at the next council meeting.
Good.
And as of right now, we have a lot of interest and a lot of people have picked up bids. So, looking forward to a good bid opening. That's my
Good,
report.
thank you. Thank you. We'll go to our council reports. We'll start with the Ward 1. Councilwoman Schneider.
Okay. October, I think, was one of my busiest months between the Oktoberfest, Halloween. I had the pleasure on this past Monday of doing a drive-by at the rec center. That's a delight where the parents, they not only bring their children, but they bring their animals, the dogs. So I really enjoyed Halloween because living in an adult community, you don't see children, so this was my pleasure. On Sunday, the first time Monroe Township had the Diwali, and I just can't thank Councilwoman Rupa Siegel and her committee. 1,000 people, if not more, attended. I know she'll go into more details, but it was just run so beautifully between the music, the people. I thank you. I really enjoyed it. It was delightful. Thank you, Rupa. But I know you'll give a better. In December, I think this is interesting, that New Jersey income tax updates at the Senior Center. It's Wednesday, December 14th. You have to sign up for this at 10:30. There'll be a rep from the New Jersey Division of Taxation. They're going to go over the New Jersey property tax relief programs, the senior freeze, reimbursement, and anchor. So if you're interested, it's December 14th, 10:30, Senior Center, but you have to sign up. Thanksgiving, Christmas is coming. I guess we figure the holiday food drives will be going on. I'll get more information. And just some of the things that they will need is like maybe candy, sweet potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing, fruit cocktail, but I will get more information to you because there are needy people in the area that really need our help for food. Excuse me. My allergies today, I don't know why. But with the weather changing, I think that affects me. So that's my report for
Thank
now.
you very much. So we'll go to Ward 2.
Miriam, that's mine for now.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Just some updates. First, I wanted to thank all of our EMS and first aid professionals, firefighters, police officers, OEM managers, 911 dispatchers. I know it was National First Responders Day on October 28th, so I just wanted to thank you. I know day in and day out you work hard and you're always ready when our residents are in need. Just some updates from our other commissions that I am a liaison to. Our Cultural Arts Commission had their annual juried art show in October. There were so many different types of beautiful and creative art on display, and during the show they had close to 600 people attend the actual show and the reception, which was a great turnout. Even some of the artists had about 16 referrals of people who were looking to purchase their work. So kudos to the entire commission. I know they've been working very hard for months to pull this event together, and all the volunteers. And for your calendars, if you're looking, the Cultural Arts Commission has Salute to American Music, performed by Orchestra by St. Peter by the Sea on November 13th at 3 p.m. at the Marasco Performing Arts Center. Our Environmental Commission had their Green Fair last month, which was a great turnout for their first one in person after COVID. So congrats to the commission and all the volunteers. And I'd like to share about our Youth Advisory Council. We just had our kickoff meeting yesterday. Thank you, Mayor Delina, for joining us. To share with the public, our Youth Advisory Council provides input to the mayor and council on local issues impacting Monroe Township youth. Committee members will gain a greater understanding of the community at large, our local government, youth leadership, and civic participation. Applicants that live in Monroe and are high school age are encouraged to apply, and I have to say we had some amazing and very impressive resumes that we had to go through. And at our meeting last night, we had some excellent discussions, and we're really looking forward to hear more of the ideas that the students will share in future meetings. And last but not least, I'd like to just talk about our Diwali fireworks, and that was an amazing event. We had beautiful weather, great performances from our local Indian dance studios, food from our 3 Indian restaurants, clothing vendors, and henna artists. We had close to 1,000 people that attended, and I really have to thank some people because this event wouldn't be possible without the help and support of many. And at the event, I said this several times, and it's worth repeating again today, but I really want to thank Mayor Delina and the Township Council, Monroe and Jamesburg Police Departments, DPW, EMS, Fire, Middlesex County Parks and Recreations, our Monroe Rec Department, with a special thank you to Mary Lang, and all other township departments who have lent a hand along the way. And last but not least, we had an amazing Diwali planning committee who have been working so hard over the months behind the scenes. So thank you again, and thank you, Council President. That's my update for tonight.
It was a lovely, lovely day, and my henna is still working. Still, color hasn't even faded. Mr. DePiero, please.
Thank you. Sunday, I attended, Cultural Arts had a presentation at the high school, and it was Phantom of the Opera. They showed the movie, and then they had an orchestra there that did the soundtrack. And it was very interesting. It was done very well, and I attended the Diwali after that, but the festival there. But I mean, it was something that was really good that the town has these kind of things, and we need to get the word out there so more people can attend. But they put a lot of work, a lot of effort into this, and it was well organized, and they did a great job. And my wife and I, we thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to thank everyone involved that made that happen. The Oktoberfest, we all attended the Oktoberfest. You know, the weather wasn't so good, but the smiles on everybody's faces and the kids running around having good times is what the Oktoberfest is all about. It brings the town together, the community together. I just want to thank the Rec Department, DPW, the police, the fire, and the first aid that made that another successful year. Hopefully, maybe next year we can do a little sooner instead of later in the month, but we'll see how that goes. I attended the library. I went to 2 events. League of Women Voters had a historic night. John Katerba, historian, he did a presentation that was really interesting, and living in the town for 60 years, it brought back a lot of memories when we had less citizens than Jamesburg at 0.9 miles. We had less population, and it was really brought back a lot of memories, and stuff that John had was very interesting. And I went there Saturday, and also Monday he had it with the League of Women Voters. And we also had a very nice presentation by Kyle Johansson, who's behind the camera tonight. I want to thank you, Kyle. You did a great job. He informed what he does is he takes old photos and black and white, he puts color to it. And when he did the presentation, John had slides, and Kyle's help, it kind of made a different picture that you could really relate to, because that's what we're used to seeing, everything in color today. But the old photos was incredible. I mean, these guys were playing all kinds of sports on motorcycles, and you had your old police department guys, and it's just very knowledgeable man, John Katerba, and he did a great job. And the public, he kept saying people were going to fall asleep, but I didn't hear anybody snoring. I think everybody enjoyed it, and I just want to thank everybody that put that together, including Kyle and John. At the construction department and DPW, I asked for a sign, if we can get a sign done, put out front, so the public can be aware of phone numbers, maybe hours, and location of which building is what. So in-house, our DPW supervisors, they took care of that with the sign crew, and I just want to thank them. They did a really nice job. It's a blue sign, and it really stands out, and we have lights on it with the help of our in-house electrician. So I just wanted to shout out to them for doing that project, and it looks really nice now that we got a sign on the building. And I want to thank DPW and MTUD for completing the Daniel Ryan Field. Thank you, Joe, and for taking care of that last building, the existing building, so we have sewer and we're all connected, and that we can leave that project and we can move on to a Veterans Park, which I want to thank you guys again for running a sewer lateral to that site. So once we get an acceptable bid, the work can be done with the bathrooms, and just like we had at the soccer fields and we have at Daniel Ryan Field. But I want to thank you guys for making that happen. Thank you. I attended a planning and zoning board meeting this past month, and one of the things, I used to hang out in the back in most of the meetings. And one of the things at an older age, I realized that maybe we should think about getting some drop screens in this room. And when we had an applicant that had a McDonald's, and they had all kinds of displays, and everybody, the room was packed, really couldn't see. If they didn't give out handouts to people coming in with all of the illustrations, A1, A2, A3, I thought that maybe we can get a few screens for the public, so when they put up the presentation to the board, that people in the audience will be able to see what exactly what are we talking about. Sitting in the back, sitting anywhere in the room, people couldn't see a small display of a board, maybe 2 feet by 3 feet, and it had over 1,000 parking spaces, and you just can't get a feel for it, and it makes. I just thought maybe we can get a budget number of how much it could be for an improvement in here, and it might help out even with meetings like we're having tonight or something. Maybe you could use it for other meetings. But I was thinking the planning and zoning. Maybe if Alan, if you could look into that for us. It's just a thought, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Repaving on Spotswood Englishtown Road, Michael Lane to Suburban Plaza. Do we have any updates on when the county's going to mill and repave that section?
Mark, please.
Council President, no, I don't have an update
No.
as far as a
Okay.
schedule at this point.
Okay. You think it'll be this year?
I don't know.
Doesn't know yet.
Okay.
They
All right.
have drainage work to do first, so, it's getting late in the year. But again, I haven't gotten an update. They don't have the drainage scheduled either. So.
Yeah, I went there today and I saw the puddles still there, All right, and then on November 5th, at the community garden, I'm on the Shade Tree Commission, and we're going to be planting a tree at the community center, the garden center that was donated by Tidbury Nursery, the Haluki family. So I wanted to. I know the mayor's coming, I believe 9 o'clock, and it's a big day for me because it's my birthday. So hopefully the mayor will remember and bring me some donuts or something.
Cupcakes was the last birthday.
Hint, hint, mayor. But we'll see how that goes. And I want to thank the Haluki family because they're whenever someone needs something in the town, they've been here a long time. They're true farmers. They're true citizens, and they're a great family, and they just help us out all the time. And the last thing I just want to say, remember Election Day. I want to thank our clerk's office in advance, as we never hear any complaints from anyone about our clerks during any election. So I want to wish you guys well for the election. I wish all the candidates that are running, wish them all good luck, and I just want to say thank you again. That's
Thank you very much. Mr. Van Zura, our at-large, one of our 2 at-large representatives, please.
Thank you, Madam President.
Welcome.
I'd just like to first concur with my fellow council members. Had the opportunity to go to the Green Fair. That was a nice event. Oktoberfest, even with the rain, is still a nice event.
It's the pretzels.
Nice to see a lot of our citizens out and enjoying it, and it's little things like they have the cheerleaders that are 4 years old that come out and do a little routine and stuff like that. And it's just nice. They have a lot of the little games and things for the kids to play. There's a lot of good food there, so it's just a nice overall event for the town. The Diwali celebration was quite an event. Congratulations to Rupa putting a wonderful thing together along with everyone else that contributed. Also, as Charlie mentioned, this Tuesday, November 8th, is Election Day, so whoever you vote for, try and get out there and vote, okay? One thing I did want to talk about a little bit more, as you know, I usually bring it up at the end of my talk, is Ukraine. Over the last week or two, there was a lot of extra bombing that took place in the country, particularly in Kyiv, where a good amount of the city lost power and water, and a lot of people are really struggling over there. So, you know, we all think about stuff like that, and well, what can we do? What can we do about it? And there are many, many sites now that are out there to help the people, but last week I had the opportunity to meet with a young couple who live right here in Monroe Township, Anna and Edward Moreau, and they have a foundation. They call it the Leonid Foundation, Leonid, named after, I believe it's Anna's grandfather. And what they did is they try to focus on areas to help. So there's really two main things. One, of course, is sending aid directly to the Ukraine, which includes like food, medical supplies, and things of that nature. And the second thing is, after the United States worked out an agreement where they allow certain Ukrainian families to come to the country, a lot of these people come over here, but they don't have a place to live, they don't have work papers, they don't have things of that nature, and then a lot of them just came here with whatever was on their back, and maybe they bought a bag or something. So these people are very much in need, and these are not people who are lazy or looking to take advantage of something. They came here directly through the system, but they need things like food, clothing, furniture, place to live. And they also need help filling out forms so that they can get their working papers and get a job. So in that regard, sometimes if anyone knows anyone that's a translator that might be able to translate English to Ukrainian or whatever, that's always a big help. So they have all that stuff, and then what they do is they collect things. So they have, in their basement, they're explaining they have containers just with boxes and boxes of stuff. When you want to send it over to Ukraine, it costs money. They don't do it for nothing. You put it on ships and you put it on planes, whatever it may be, you got to pay for that. It doesn't get done for nothing. They also don't have enough storage space. So if anybody knows anybody that has storage space available, that would be a big help. They need help delivering to the people that are over here. So if they do have items and things that they could deliver to the people who are relocating here, well, not everybody's got, they don't have any big trucks that they could just use and haul it over. So vehicles is important. And the manpower in moving it, just literally picking up the boxes or furniture, whatever it is, and helping to transport it. So if you could help them, that would be great. Any other organization would be great. This particular one is, if you want more information, it's www.leonid, Leonid foundation.org. So keep them in your thoughts if you could.
Yes.
Even, and I say this, next month, before our next meeting is Thanksgiving, which Thanksgiving, of course, is a great time for us to spend time with all of our families and celebrate our heritage here in the United States and all that we stand for. Sometimes ShopRite will give out free turkeys if you've spent enough money, and I know sometimes I spend enough money. Other people in my family also spend enough money. We got extra turkeys occasionally, and if you want something to do with this would be a good possibility. It would be needed and it would be helpful. So I ask you all to consider that. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving, and I wish you all the best. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome, and I'll tag on to that, because I was with the councilman when we met with that family, and as they described what this perfectly normal, very typical citizen of our country were doing, one of them came here from Russia, one of them came here from the Ukraine. They've been married for X number of years, and they were describing what their basement looks like and how they became involved in this activity. I believe that both our mayor and the councilman liberated a pin from each of them with the twin flags of our country and theirs. They made a very interesting comment about Thanksgiving. They said they wanted these new immigrants to experience a Thanksgiving so that they could see what this country was about. And it was very touching the way that they said it, that Thanksgiving was so special here. And our town, as we all know, has a history of people helping out. We have vaccine angels, we have people who drove people many places. And they're also looking for anyone who can provide medical care, just for people for routine kind of care. So they've just started this not that many months ago, so it was pretty amazing to look at them doing all of this. And reminded me how lucky we are to live here. So I think that that's something we should remember at this time of year. Probably always would be helpful, but they brought that very much home to all of us, I think, that day. I'm going to ask the mayor if he has a report he would like to share with us, please.
Yes, thank you, Council President. Appreciate the opportunity to provide
My
some
pleasure.
information, report a little bit tonight. First and foremost, I just want to make sure those of you who've not submitted your anchor rebate forms, please go ahead. Now's the time to do it. For those of you who might be running into issues and how to fill it out, just call our library and we will help you and assist you with the anchor rebate. A couple celebratory mentions. Definitely our green team. We have received the silver certification from Sustainable New Jersey, so another notch in the belt in regards to that, so congratulations. Congratulations to all of our Mayor Cups award winners. We had the end of the year event last week. Regency was one of the big winners, but again, just really appreciate everyone participating in that and obviously recognizing those who won the award. October 26th was the Clearbrook 50th anniversary, which I got to attend. Again, one of our older communities, but still a very vibrant community, and it was nice to celebrate 50 years with a lot of the members of that community. October 27th, we had our master plan. I am happy to report it was unanimously passed. I just want to thank all of the residents, the 18 months of public input, our professional staff, our planning board members for coming together with the master plan. Now it's obviously time to move on that, and over the next couple months, and again with the master plan in years, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the suggestions, recommendations that were made come to fruition. Very exciting time. I've received some concerns about increased car thefts and burglaries. Like everything else here in not only the nation and the state, we've seen crime on the rise. I am working with your chief of police on a video to provide some information, but also some data on what's going on here in Monroe Township. A lot of times data will drive how you react, but obviously we also need to react to our citizens' concerns. So I think doing the video, doing some outreach is going to be very important. Car thefts have increased, but we are one of the safest communities. Again, just recognized last week as the 6th safest in the nation. As for some of the data, car thefts in 2020, we had 20. In 2021, 17, and of today, of 2022, we've had 22, so a very, very slight increase. All well below the state average, including some of our burglaries. Just again, giving some numbers. 2019, there were 38 burglaries. 2020, there were 33. In 2021, there were 24, and then currently we're at 35. So again, it's not germane to Monroe Township, but we are one of the safest communities. I stand by that. I stand by the data. And I stand by our police. But obviously, we can always just do a little bit more, and we're working on it. This past Sunday, I had the honor to attend the Guru Nanak 2nd anniversary. This is the Sikh temple on the southern side of the town. Their event started on Friday at 4 in the morning and ran until Sunday afternoon. So it was a nonstop event. I was able to pop in for a little while and enjoy some of the festivities with them. And then obviously finishing off the wonderful evening with our Diwali event. And again, congratulations to all of those who came together to plan that. And it was very exciting to be there. November 5th is Councilman DePiero's birthday. And
Cupcakes.
Councilman DePiero, I assure you, we will have a hootin' and hollerin' time on November 5th at the community garden. So, November 6th, the next day, the council and myself will be honoring our veterans at the senior center for a program and luncheon. So that's very exciting. Speaking of our veterans, we'll be having our event at our Veterans K Park on Avenue K at 9 a.m. It's only going to be in one location this particular year. This was a request of our veterans that we kind of just focus on the one area. So we decided that it will be at 9 a.m. Friday, November 11th at Veterans Park on Avenue K. Moving along on the calendar, please hold the date for November 30th for our third annual holiday parade and Christmas tree and menorah lighting. Again, looking forward to seeing everyone out there. And it was mentioned by Councilman Van Zura about Thanksgiving, and just a heartfelt Thanksgiving as we come out of the pandemic and we've experienced major changes in our lives over this last couple of years. Thanksgiving is a great time to focus on family. So from my family, and I say that's the town, that's the people who work here, and my family up on the council here, all the council members, from my family to yours, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to take the floor back for a moment because where I live, they won the Bocce Cup. They won the Mayor's Gold Cup for bocce. So I said, yay, team, that they did that. And we think that someplace Carol Tamboro was smiling down because that was her club, and they lived at Greenbrier at Whittingham. And I did want to mention one other item. We have our own Nancy Gunkelman, who is an artist, who is a longtime member of the Cultural Arts Committee, and she has an exhibit that is opening on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's at the Plainsboro Library, and it will run through December 24th. The work is always beautiful. I've been to exhibits that she has done before, so if you can, please take a look and go and see the work. I understand from Mr. Gunkelman that the work is already at the library, but it will not begin until this Sunday afternoon. We are going to move to the public comment section of our meeting. May I have a motion to open that, please?
So moved.
Thank you. A second, please. I did hear a second, yes?
Councilman
Annette,
DePiero. Yep, Councilman
All in
DePiero.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Please come to the mic, state your name and address for our record. Remember, there's a 5-minute time limit per speaker. We run the clock. We're running the clock here.
Okay, I got 5 minutes now.
Well, we never use that clock. That's
No,
Just please, sir.
okay. Tim Esso, 2 Allison Court. Want to congratulate, I attended the Diwali event. It was fantastic, it really was. It was great to see the whole community come together. And there's been many times I've spoken to, a couple times I've spoken to Mayor DeLine about, say, a San Gennaro type event in the park. Hopefully we can get the whole community together for something like that as well. I think that brings all the ethnicities together as well. And it was so nice attended the Diwali event. It was great to see. Also, speaking of our Ukrainian families, my wife and I, we put a dining room set and hutch on Marketplace, and a young Ukrainian family had come, and we were charging for it, but I just wound up giving it to them because they told me that their family was coming from Ukraine, and I thought, you know what, this is just it's fate, so I give it to them. With that said, I do have a couple concerns about a position. It's called, I believe, Fleet Safety Facility Security Coordinator. Are we familiar with that position? Was that position filled?
Yes.
And by whom?
Well, I think we gave you the name already. What was, I saw the email to you from Mr. Weinberg. What was
Oh,
it?
you did?
Pete Pyro is the person.
Pete Pyro, yeah.
I stopped looking at the email after you didn't get back to me. So Pete Pyro was the one who got it, okay.
Correct.
And the annual salary is?
It's in the email that I sent to you.
Correct.
I didn't.
Well, you responded to it,
It's
so I
right
know
here.
you read
Yeah,
it.
70,000, right?
Correct, in the
Yeah.
email.
70,000. Okay, so I have to sit here and I really feel horrible for our current employees. How many of our current employees start at $70,000 a year? Not many. We have families who work here, have 1, 2 kids, maybe a single mom or a single dad who isn't making $70,000 a year in Monroe here, working for whether it be the DPW or inside the offices here, okay? I think it's shameful that we pay this kind of money to somebody right off the start, $70,000. I asked Mr. Weinberg as well, and I didn't get a response. There's a company vehicle that comes with this position.
So, in all due respect, you got a response, because I read your response to
Mr.
that
Reno,
response, and the response was...
Point of order, please.
You absolutely...
It's my.
Yeah, but I'm going to answer your question, because I'm not going
Please
to allow
stop
you
the
to
time.
just lie, because you responded
Can
to
you
the
stop
email.
the time?
I'm going to let... No, I'm going to...
Okay,
You don't run the
so-
meeting, I'm going to answer the question.
Go ahead, answer the
So,
question.
the same answer we gave you to the question, you asked us, we told you the policy was that in the police department, which is where this job is, only, I believe...
Command
10
staff.
Command staff, and we told you who the command staff was, and he's not a member of the command staff, and we told you
So
that
he doesn't
does
bring
not
the
have a
vehicle
car.
home?
He does not.
Okay, so my point is, getting back to the employees, let's just say, Mr. Reno, if we had an employee, her name was Alex, and she went to League of Municipalities, and she's seen all of her other employees there, and Alex is upset because this employee is making $70,000 a year, and the rest of employees around her are making less than that, and they've been here 15 to 20 years. I just think it's an injustice to Alex. Now, I'm just using the name Alex, okay? I don't know Alex here.
By the way, if that's an inside joke, I don't know what it is.
No, I'm just,
apologize.
I'm just using the name
My
Alex.
son's name's too.
I'm just using the name Alex, say she was at the league, and say she was talking to somebody who just got a job for $70,000 a year, and she's been here for 10, 15
Well, we hire people
I
at
think
different
it's an
salaries for different
injustice
positions
to
based upon
those who
experience.
are hardworking DPW workers, as Mayor Delina stated, and Mr. Weinberg stated. Our hardworking DPW workers are out there, okay, raking leaves, cleaning up, out in the snow, 2:30, 3 in the morning. Yeah, they might be getting time and a half, but they're not making $70,000 a year. They're not. I just think it's a complete injustice. I mean, and something really should be done about that. Now, was this position in the budget?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Weinberg, please, yes.
It was? Was this position, this Fleet Safety Facility Security Coordinator, was this position just recently, was this titled last year too?
I think it was put in the budget this year, right?
It was put in the budget this year,
This year.
much earlier this year. I think it was requested earlier this year and put in the budget in like February or March.
Okay, thank you. Okay, like I said, I just think it's an injustice to our good, hardworking employees of Monroe Township who are not making $70,000 a year right off the start. I just think it's an injustice to them, and I feel bad for them. I do. Thank you very much.
Comments are noted, sir. Anyone else wish to address us? Look at that, right within the 5 minutes.
You're welcome.
Please. Hello, and just give us your name and address for our record, please.
Antoinette Sacchetti, 39 Avenue H, Monroe Township. It's my first time here, so
Well, then, welcome.
thank you. Okay, so the reason why I'm here is to discuss the conditions of 38 Avenue I. July 2021, I called the township, filed a complaint regarding the hazardous and dangerous conditions at 38 Avenue I. I received an email from Christopher Bevins on July 29, 2021, stating a letter was sent to the property owner and that someone would inspect the property and determine demolishing the house. I called the office a few weeks later and was told the house was inspected and is determined to be condemned and the owner would be notified. I did not follow up after that call, but then I found out in July of 2022 that the owner had passed. So now I filed a complaint online, which is the new way of filing a complaint now. And I attached some photos. Christopher Bevins emailed me on the 26th of August of this year, 2022. He stated that the construction office has inspected and issued a letter from the Board of Public Officials to have the house demolished. We communicated via email a few times. Mr. Bevins let me know once the property is transferred to new owners, they have 30 days to respond, and then a summons for court will be served, and if need be, the township would step in. Now, my issue is, I've lived at 39 Avenue H since 2009, and this property has never been kept up with. This property is directly behind me, and we have all kinds of animals, rodents, bugs, debris, tall, dangerous trees, smells. This property creates a lot of work for us to keep up with our property, to keep it clean and safe. Now, I'm not sure if Monroe Township has a property maintenance ordinance, and I don't understand why it was never enforced at 38 Avenue I, but I think now it's time. I did bring a whole bunch of photos for everyone, if they want. I made a copy for everyone, just to see what this house looks like.
Yes.
It really is terrible. I mean, I don't know how the house is still standing. There's holes in the roofs. All the windows are broken. There are 2 abandoned cars that it's open. My neighbor next door to me, behind her is the garage, and she sees vultures from time to time going in there. The neighbor on the other side gets a bunch of rodents going into his house. So this house has really created a mess. And I'm just here to ask that if we can get this done. I mean, it's been a long time.
Mr. Weinberg, please.
Yeah, if I could get your contact information, I'd certainly be happy to follow up and get to the latest status on it, and certainly try and speak with you later this
And
week.
he will get back
in
to you.
detail.
So please make sure you give him the appropriate
Kevin will.
information and a set of those pictures.
Could I
I have a whole
see-
bunch of copies here.
Could I see it?
Yes, feel free.
I'll give you all.
That's fine.
Kev, can you get your address? Or phone number?
Between myself
Ma'am,
and Christopher
can you spell
Bevins.
your last name for me?
S is in Sam, A-C-C-H-E, T is in Tom, T is in Tom.
Okay, I'll get your phone number at the end.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Please come again, you know.
Thank you.
I'm gonna pass it down to
Sure.
Alan.
Oh, my goodness.
It's not pretty.
This looks.
Anyone else wish to speak to us this evening, please come forward again, state your name and address, and then take your pick. Which one of you is coming up first? There's time for both of you, so it's fine.
Good evening, everyone. My concern is about...
Your name and address, please.
Oh, my name is Carolina Di Piero, 35 Lower Machaponix Avenue, Monroe Township,
Okay,
New Jersey.
thank you. Yes.
I'm concerned about the rezoning of my property. So now I just want to take something like on my chest. So I made a letter to the mayor and to the council to read. So that's what. So I will feel good, you know. It bothers me because I found out with my neighbor that you're rezoning my property from neighborhood commercial to residential.
Mr. Weinberg.
So, and Joe can correct me if
Joe,
I'm
would you
wrong.
please, yeah.
So this was a matter that's before the planning board, which is ultimately, and I'll defer to the township attorney, a place that, you know, where you can go and provide your comments. Certainly, they can be received here as well, but I think you also want to make sure you share whatever comments that you have with the planning board, which is the body that is sort of overseeing the master plan, which I believe is what
Right.
you're referring to. So I'm just saying, in addition to sharing whatever you're sharing here,
Right.
please make sure you, and we can pass it along, but please make sure you either share or attend the planning board, because they're the entity that has been moving forward on the master plan and has taken feedback over the past 18 months on that.
Did I understand, Drew, that you had written a letter?
I did not get a letter.
I'm sorry, I thought-
Michael Di Piero called me on the phone and told me, but then he said it's Friday, but it's Thursday, so I did not attend on a Thursday. He told me Friday, so it's
I just wanted
so
to be
I made
clear
a
that I
letter
understood
just
you.
to get some of my just that bothers me a lot, you know.
We can get her the date of the next planning board meeting, please. She can check on the, all right. The next planning board meeting is when? Look it up, and you can certainly go to that meeting.
Okay.
and you will
Madam
certainly-
Council President, I also want to just respond
Please.
regarding, you wanted to set up a meeting as well to discuss, and my office will be reaching out to you as well.
You will, okay, so we will attempt to address your concerns.
Do I need to give the letter so the mayor and the
You do have a
president-
letter?
Yeah.
We could distribute.
We can certainly
give
take
it
this
to
letter. That was what I was querying. Okay, thank you. Thank you. It is
Thank you so much.
a pleasure to try to assist you. It is. I know we have, please, come forward, Pat.
Hi, Patricia Swalje, 586A Madison Drive in the Clearbrook Complex. I just want to say a few things. First of all, I attended the Oktoberfest, and it was my first time. And I have to say, even though it rained, nobody seemed to notice the rain. They were having that good of a time. It was fabulous. I was very impressed. Somebody said, well, it's not as big of a crowd as it would be if it wasn't raining, but it was packed. So it was really a great event, and I'm sure I heard the fireworks from Diwali in my house, and I knew that this was going on. I was enjoying all the lights that people had on their homes, so I think we really have a special community here, and that's why one of the reasons, or there's lots of reasons why I enjoy living here. However, that being said, I know and I hear from others that there's a concern. We hear a lot on a national level of very violent rhetoric. And in many cases, and we've seen that recently with Speaker Pelosi's home, that this gives justification to people to act on it in a violent way. So my concern is, my personal belief is that there is a very there's a plan by certain elements of our society to cause disruptions at our polling places during this election. And I would like to know if we as a community, we as a government, I guess, are aware and prepared, who handles situations if there are disruptions at polling places, people being challenged unnecessarily, attempts at trying to slow the voting. I know that there's a lot of voting going on now, which again, our library situation where they have a polling place is fabulous. I know a lot of people are attending and early voting, but what are we doing?
Well, the answer is that there's a whole host of things that are in place. The Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney have both announced in the last week that they both have task force that are set up for those very purposes. Obviously, our police department does what our police department does. You know, the county clerk's office said, I mean, despite all of the rhetoric, elections in New Jersey, certainly for sure, and in this country are as secure as they can be. I mean, I think there's a lot of talk about it, but there are, like I said, for the U.S. Attorney and the Attorney General's office to announce, I think the Attorney General said that they were putting every attorney in the Attorney General's office on notice to handle election complaints like this. You know, I'm pretty comfortable with that. I know that the Department of Justice with the U.S. Attorney's office works on things that if they consider polling places targeted or something like that, they put monitors there. They've always had that. They don't advertise it a lot, but they've always had that in process. And the clerk's office has a routine as to what happens to have the police involved if we have an issue.
Right.
Did you want to add something to
I mean, I don't really want to go into it too much as to what it is that we do because right. But trust me when I tell you that there are all of those things in place.
Township clerk would concur with that we
Yes.
are well prepared.
Yes.
And our police department is well prepared. And one hopes all our voters are prepared to come out and vote.
I think
Includes the
I think
preparation
I
part.
think they will be.
But yes, we are aware.
Okay.
And we are careful. And
Thank you
both
so
the
much.
attorney And our clerk said, thank you. Anyone else wish to address this evening? Seeing and hearing none, may I have a motion to close the public comment section, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Second on that. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. May I have a motion to adjourn our meeting, please?
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that motion.
Second.
We're going to take the ayes.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Time?
None. The time is,
Time is 7:39.
thank you all for being here. Please come back again.